So good afternoon. The show of hands real quick. Who was here yesterday? Okay, awesome. Very good. Well, welcome back. Those of you who maybe I can't see, then cool. We will dedicate some time. Probably half of this half hour is just going to be question and answer. So if you guys have questions, please feel free to ask them. Just hold them until the end. You can drop them in the chat box on the side. I will answer them as I have a chance. And then we will certainly have some back and forth time at the end. The intention of these One Thing Tech sessions is to have some bite-sized pieces that you can implement immediately. So as a takeaway from yesterday, if you haven't already, go ahead and get split screen if you have just one monitor, or if you guys have two monitors, awesome, you can follow along. If they're pieces that you're trying to implement as we're talking, it's best that you actually implement them as we're talking, as we're going through this. Good stuff. Before we get started, do you guys have any questions that I can answer right off the top? Okay. I did receive a bunch, and I see a couple names in here, some folks that sent me some questions after yesterday's session, and I do want to answer those for you. I got such a flood of text messages and emails that I just haven't been able to get back to all of you. So my apologies. Know that I do care, and I set aside some time at the end so I can go through the questions you guys did have, and hopefully I can address it all. So we'll dive in real quick, guys. I'm going to share my screen. The goal today is to talk about the marketing profile. We want to look at refreshing if you already have it set up, and activating a new, refreshing if you already have it, and then setting up for the first time if you never have. So we're going to look at both of those things. It's the same exact process to do it, and I think it's a really good time to look into it, because if we're interacting with people digitally in our business now, then it's really important that we've cultivated our persona online. We know how we are in person, and we have a chance to do that typically. But now our websites and our marketing pieces, they all speak for us a lot more than they typically would as people are sitting in front of their computers. So I'm here at Command Your Business. I do want to let you know you can find all this here. It's not under Command Your database. It's going to be under Command Your Marketing. So if we look at recommended training under Command Your Marketing, down, right here in session 1 is essentially what we're covering today. So state your value. Did I select the right window? Can you guys see this Command Your Business window?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. It looks like it's on a different one to me. Anyhow, so under this session 1, state your value interactive guide. So this is a great piece right here. You can download it, and it's a PDF that will walk you through and help you create really your bio that you'll include in your marketing profile. It'll help you identify your unique value proposition, and it really is just a worksheet. If you do this to a high level, they say it's going to take you about an hour. I'd say spend that amount of time and really think about it. You could probably do this a lot more quickly. I would recommend probably do 2 things. Work this from scratch and look at what pieces you already have and see how you can combine the 2. Because you may feel differently now than you did the previous time you wrote your marketing profile or your business bio. You should combine the things that maybe you forgot are important about you with whatever you feel is important about you right now. So take some time, work through this. The goal is to then have 1 paragraph you'll see here at the bottom, and that will be your bio. So it takes you through a few steps, how you describe yourself, some things unique about your business and how you use Keller Williams technology, and then write a paragraph about it. This literally is going to be just copy and paste into your marketing profile. Go back to this. This will take you through completing your marketing profile. Again, you can come back to this and walk through the entire thing later on. Don't worry about adding the credit card, but we're going to jump over here. So we're in Command at this point. And up at the top right, you'll click on your name, and then you'll click Settings. When you click Settings, it's going to take you into this right here. We're going to go into Connect Settings and Marketing Profile. So looking at the marketing profile, this entire piece, you can scroll through it and we can edit any of this from right here. If you're refreshing, this is a great place to refresh. If you're setting up for the first time, you'll want to go to the marketing profile Kelly guide. Now, I'm not going to walk through this entire thing, but I'll show you. When you click on this, it's very simple. It pops up this Kelly guide. You'll hit get started, and it takes you through step by step on precisely how to do it. If we exit out of this, it's going to take us right back. We'll go back into settings. Now, in the marketing profile, what I would like to cover specifically are these two photos right here, your photo and your team logo. Most of the images that we have that we would drop in here are not formatted properly. Whether they're not formatted for a circle or they're not formatted as a square, maybe they're just the wrong size, or perhaps it's not in the right format, a JPEG or a PNG. There's a few requirements here. It must be in the right format, JPEG, PNG. It must be smaller than 1 megabyte. Most photos are quite a bit larger, especially if you have a headshot. It's probably multiple megabytes, if not tens of megabytes. And then it must fit in the proper size. So the file size and the image size are different. File size is how much space it takes up on your computer. The image size is actually how large it is on your screen, how many pixels it is. So 360 by 360 is the recommendation. And we're going to jump in here and I'm going to show you how to do a custom image here. So I've come here to designs. Then under designs, we're going to create a new social image. So I hit the plus button at the bottom right. We're going to hit social and next. So you'll see all the templates here on the left. This gives you different types of templates. And then these are the different formats at the top. We're not going to use any of those. We're going to go over to My Designs instead of the templates. And we're going to start from blank. With the red button Start. And then here we see a custom size. So this gives you the ability to type in whatever size canvas you would like. It will not resize the image automatically. This is simply saying what size canvas, the end product, what size is this going to be? What we saw in the marketing profile, it wants a 360 by 360 image. You also have different types of measurements at the bottom. So we can go in inches and centimeters and millimeters. If you're doing print materials, this is a really good thing to mark those as inches or centimeters instead. In this case, our marketing profile is optimized for the display on computer screens, tablets, on smartphones, and screens are all measured by pixels. And so we're going to select PX, which stands for pixel. Once you've typed in 360 by 360, we'll hit create, and it's going to load up your custom canvas. Now, it may be difficult to see in the stream, but if you do it in real life, you can see that the screen in the center is a square and it's white, and there's a faint gray behind it. If you're colorblind like me, it may be difficult to see, but there is a square there, I promise, in the center of the screen. Over here on the left, we're going to hit images, and we're going to take whatever image we want. We're going to drop it right here into the center. Okay, now I want to make this a bit larger. And so I'm going to blow this up. I'm going to center it in the middle of the square, a little bit larger even. I'm going to put it right there where I want it in the middle of the square. And this, when I save this image now, everything outside of this square, anything that's not on the canvas itself, is going to be cut off. It will not remain with the image. The top left, I'm going to save it. You can also title it if you'd like. So let's title it first. We want to say this is a headshot. You can do the same thing with your logo. Remember, most of us have logos that are rectangular or just not a square, essentially. This will allow you to cut it down or to blow it up to be a square, depending on what you want to do. We'll save it. Tells us it's saved, and then we're going to download. We've got a few different file formats. We could download it as a JPEG. JPEG is what you'll commonly see when you load on websites. Instead, we want to use a PNG. Now, PNG or ping is a higher resolution image. It is still low resolution compared to some, but it is a higher resolution than JPEG. This is going to keep the definition of your photo a bit more clear, and it's going to make it scalable. So if you take a 360 by 360 photo, which is actually very small on your screen, and you choose to blow it up to much larger, there will be better definition. It will look better if it's a ping. Whether or not it's a transparent background does not matter, because remember, this entire canvas is taken up by a pop. But if you're using your logo, it may matter. So if your logo only takes up half of the screen, you certainly want to check this for a transparent background, so that anything behind your logo is it does not show up. That when you take it, when your marketing profile automatically places a black background or a colored background of some sort, you're not going to have a white square go on top of it. It'll just be whatever the colors are in your logo itself will drop right on to whatever backdrop it is. So we're going to uncheck transparent background on this one, and you start the download. It is that simple, folks. Any questions on that before I move on from this designs interface? Awesome. Okay, so when you're finished up, you'll hit done. We're going to jump back into settings. You know, we've got another window that's still in settings. Here we go. So marketing profile, once you have that 360 by 360 image that's downloaded, you can then upload it. And it's a simple process, just like anything else, you'll upload it there. All right. The rest of this, here's your bio right here. This is the part that you really want to spend some time. You can use the State Your Value interactive guide, as we said before, and you'll copy and paste it there. If there's a little asterisk next to the type of information, that is a required field. So you must have your mobile phone, your office phone. You must have your email. You must have your brokerage name, your office phone number. For some reason, it's wiped mine out of here, so I'll just put it back right here. So you can simply work through it. Legal footer text. Right here, this link titled the Trek Consumer Protection Notice. This is imperative that you have. Now, this file link is actually both. I believe my CPN and my IABS, but this is where you'll include it right here. In order to do it, you'll simply type out what type of document it is. And then you'll have a link. There are, I would simply Google, well, everybody here has got Google Drive. That's a very simple process. You right click on the image and you hit share. It gives you a link and you just copy right to it. So if you guys have questions about that, simply ask me in a moment when we open up question time. I'd be happy to show you how. I think a lot of people do know how to do that. But anyhow, you'll paste the link to your file right here, and then that'll appear at the bottom of your web page, inside your app, all the rest of that. Your social accounts, this simply, if you just find yourself on Facebook, you copy and paste the link, you drop it in there. Find yourself on Twitter, copy and paste the link in there. You will include the https://, that's important. If you only have the www, or if you just have facebook.com, it's not going to work. So you must include the HTTP, including the S if that's necessary. This, if you have a link included in here on any of your marketing stuff, on your app, on your website, it's actually going to show the little F or the bird for Facebook, for Twitter, and so on. It'll create the links automatically. You simply must drop the link in there. It'll put the images in the right place. If you wish to track for Facebook retargeting purposes, this is a little bit more advanced marketing tactic, so I won't go into depth here, but this is where you'll copy and paste it there. The same with Google Analytics ID. So if you purchase Google AdWords, if you run ads through Google, this is where your Analytics ID will go right here. This is an important part right here at the bottom, folks. Your branded KW app link. Now there's a couple different ways to get this, but the very best way, you simply open up your app and you share it. And you'll get, If you open up your app and you share it with yourself, you'll see the code. It is just a website. It's for everyone. It's going to be app.kw.com / and then this will be a different 6, 7, or 8-digit code right there. And that is your unique link. The idea is when you follow that link, it'll download a generic app, but that generic app has code on the back end that's branded to you specifically. So when you ask somebody to download the app, it'll do it, automatically be branded to you. That is it. Make sure to save at the bottom. That'll update your marketing profile. That is the entire thing, folks. So let me tell you real quick, and I could have perhaps started with this, but your marketing profile will populate in your designs. It carries things through to your website. If you do printed flyers, if you send out mailers through real mailers, whatever the case it is, if you're creating it within Command and the intention is to share it with consumers, this marketing profile carries through. It'll automatically place those elements in there. So at this point, do you guys have questions? What can I do to help you?
I'm still a little confused how to get the IBS and the wire fraud thing. Can you?
Awesome. I'm glad you asked then. I'm sure you're not the only one. If there's one, there's always more. So let me pull this
That's definitely
up.
an important one to have.
Yep, absolutely.
I have struggled with it for a long time. I know once the light bulb turns on, I'm going to go, oh, goodness, that's all. But
so are you familiar with how to, can you get a PDF of the IABS and the consumer protection? Okay, so as long as you have a PDF of the IABS or CPN, we're going to open up a new window in Chrome. And for this, it doesn't matter if it's incognito or if it's a regular window. You'll see behind here, these are incognito windows. I use that pretty much I use it in every case when I'm teaching Command. I use it typically to run my business as well. I can go into why a different time, but it just simply, if you use Chrome incognito, Command works better. I'll keep it simple. So if we go here and we open up Drive, at the top left, you have the ability to upload a new document. So we can upload a file. We can upload an entire folder of content. But in this case, we just want to upload an individual file. So you'll come in here. You'll double click on the PDF that you want to upload. What's this one's called? FRE. So I'm going to scroll through here and find the document that I just uploaded. Once you find it, you simply right click on it and then get shareable link. You're going to turn link sharing on. This link right here, you simply copy and paste.
okay.
That
Because I've just noticed on some people's email actually shows the picture of the IBS, and other people have a link. So I didn't know if there was a preference or.
I think that's a matter of preference. From what I understand, so I'm not an attorney. I can't really say what is compliant and what is not. But I could tell you from my own personal perspective, I understand that it's acceptable to have it one click away. Or you can show the entire thing. And I think it looks better to have it one click away, because those giant documents sitting there at the bottom of every single email that I send, that's just not my personal preference. I know some people like it. Some people attach the full document to every single email that they send. I get that.
Right. I've seen it, and I was just a little confused on that too. Okay, thanks for
but if
clearing
I
that
don't
up.
have to, and I can include a link instead, it satisfies the requirements according to our broker, and so I'm happy to do that instead.
Great. Thanks.
This is important if you have your own G Suite account. If you're not using your KW account and you've got your own G Suite, you'll need to open up sharing settings on each of these documents and change it.
Yep.
So let me show you real quick, and it's likely that you'll need to do this on your KW account also. So the link sharing is on. We've got the link right here, but you can see right now it's only people within my organization can view. So I'm going to click sharing settings and open it up. I'll drop it down. I'll hit more. And then right here, anyone with the link can get access. You have two options here. Either one will work, anyone with the link or public on the web. I don't need it public on the web, so anyone with the link is going to suffice. There are some people that choose to do public on the web for SEO purposes, but that's a different topic entirely. Anyone with the link is just fine. Make sure to save that, and then you can copy that link. Once you have that right there, as we were looking at before, we'll simply take, oh, that's the wrong spot. There we go. So the information about brokerage services, we would then just paste it right there. And it didn't come over. Let me pull this up again. So copy link. And we can paste it there. That makes sense. Any questions about that?
No, that helps a lot. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely. What else? What else do you guys need? Questions about yesterday or questions about today? Okay. I will show you guys real quickly. I had a bunch of questions about how to do the virtual background, and I understand yesterday was a little bit rushed. I'm going to show this again. So I've got my Zoom window open. I'll go up here, click my name. I'm going to go to settings. Now this likely will look different for you. I have a pro account, and if you're using it on Mac or on your phone, this is also going to look different as well. But within your settings, if you can find virtual backgrounds, you'll click that, and this is where you can do it right there. Hopefully that answers the questions for you. That's the most common one that I got from yesterday. All right. Anything else? Go ahead.
Sorry, I had things going on in the background, so I couldn't answer earlier. But could you just run through the marketing? Like, all I need is a point, like what you clicked on right after you went into the marketing to pull up the photograph. Like, how do you get to the point where you need to pull up the photograph?
So are you asking in the marketing profile?
In the marketing profile, then you're like, well, go to designs.
Mm-hmm.
So I could figure out.
So we went to designs here.
Yeah, and then once you went to designs, then what'd you click on?
Wait for my screen to come up here. So at the bottom right, we're going to hit plus to create a new image.
Okay.
So this will create a new design of any kind. So if you want to create a new email template, if you want to create a new social post, print, if you want to create a smart video, which if you guys haven't tried that yet, it's a great piece. Definitely go check out the smart videos. They're super easy to do, like 30 seconds, and you'll have a really cool piece to share out on social media. You can also import a PDF if you want it to. If you want to take a marketing piece that you already have and extract those elements, you can do it there. In this case,
okay. So what did you do for the picture?
So social.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Next. And then instead of selecting a template, well, this is not loading. Got a whole bunch of devices going on in my house right now. So when it comes up, instead of selecting a template, you'll create your own.
And then, so you select my designs.
Yep, my designs.
Okay.
And then it'll be a custom size.
Okay. And that's when you just enter the 360 by 360.
Correct. Yep. Make sure pixels is checked. Here we go. So my designs, create a design, custom size. And that's where you put 360 by 360.
Okay. And you just press create and you can go on.
That's it. Yep. Once you hit create, it creates that square canvas. And the rest is pretty simple.
Okay. Thanks, Seth.
You're welcome, Karen.
Hey, Seth, this is Jean.
Hi, Jean.
Hi. When you create a smart video, is there a way to have it where it will show up in a certain neighborhood more? Like if you want us to create it for a certain subdivision or certain neighborhood, how do you get it out to people on Facebook's in those neighborhoods? Thought I heard somewhere you could do that.
Okay, so to clarify, you'd like to take a smart video that you've created within Command, and you'd like to run a Facebook or Instagram ad targeted to a specific neighborhood.
Yes.
And ideally the neighborhood that you created the video for, right?
Correct.
Okay, so this I think is best used if it's a neighborhood farm. You might also do it for an open house. The problem is with an open house, unless that open house is within your farm, we don't have the ability as real estate agents to hyperlocal target a specific neighborhood any longer. Facebook has taken that ability away. They're very concerned about the legal ramifications of letting us target certain neighborhoods because certain neighborhoods contain an outsized percentage of people of a certain protected class, right? So it may violate FHA law to target certain neighborhoods. That may not be the case with all neighborhoods, certainly not the case with mine, but that's their concern. So they've taken that ability away from us. You can target, I think a minimum is a 15-mile radius from a certain address or a certain point. And so that's about as specific as you can get. Now, there's a workaround. And I think that it is even more beneficial to really double down on your neighborhood farm, because if you have a list of people in your database and you have them all tagged as belonging to your farm, then you can run Facebook ads to those people in your database directly.
So they have to be tagged as a farm, as on a farm, okay.
Or you can run it to your entire database if you'd really like, but the way that I do it, everybody that lives within my neighborhood farm, I've just got them tagged as inspiration. Okay. And then when I want to run an ad to my neighborhood, I just simply run it to my database. And I'm running it also to a wider population. And here's the thing, those two things coincide and kind of benefit each other, because I'm running it to everybody within a 15-mile radius of, say, the open house. And I'm looking at the people that I know within that farm specifically. Facebook out here in the rest of the world wants to actually deliver it to people that want to see it, that are going to benefit from it, right? And who is going to benefit more than the people that live within the neighborhood, even if I don't have them within my database. So if Facebook sees that this ad is performing kind of all right out here, but within this target audience and within my database, this type of individual is clicking on it a whole lot. Well, it's going to take all these people, and Facebook's going to try to replicate who's actually clicking on it, which happens to be the people in my database. And so it will naturally narrow that scope to people that are most likely to click. Now, maybe it's somebody 2 neighborhoods away that is thinking about living here. Also, maybe it's your next door neighbor or the neighbor of the open house. And you didn't know them, but Facebook said this person is likely to open it, so I'm going to deliver it to them. So there's ways to kind of cheat the system, and you've got to have people's information. Best way to have that is that one-on-one relationship, right? Mm-hmm. So the more we're developing relationships within our neighborhood farm, the more rewarded we get when we go to run ads to that same farm.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. And Seth, I have a question. This is Raina. So whenever we do those ads in Command, is that what you're referring to, where you're running that ad through Command, or are you doing that separately through Facebook?
So I'm of the opinion that Command is much more effective and efficient. And I say effective and efficient. One, it'll get you leads better than running your own ads through Facebook. And then 2, it's more effective. I'm sorry, it's more efficient because it's going to cost you less, right? So I do everything through Command at this point.
Now, whenever you're saying the farming of adding those specific people within that, say, area, say you're doing open house, right? And you're asking, so I haven't done it through Command, honestly, through Facebook. So when you do it through Command through Facebook, does it allow you to add those specific people when you're doing a paid Facebook ad? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and we'll cover that in a future week. We can get more in detail. We've got just a minute left. But
sorry.
Absolutely, if you tag people that live in a farm, you can then create a custom audience within your campaign. And those custom audiences are based upon neighborhoods or tags.
Yeah.
So if you have a whole bunch of people assigned to the same neighborhood, you can pull all those people in at once. If you have a whole bunch of people with the same tag, you can pull all those people in at once.
Got you.
You might have just the neighborhood and pull that in, and then you also might shoot it out to your sphere.
Got you. Makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome. You do need it. There's a certain threshold. So if you only have 5 people from a neighborhood, Facebook is not going to deliver it to those 5 people. You've got to have a bunch.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. So whenever you were mentioning, I thought it was like up to like 25 or so. They have like so many people they want in their sphere in order to grab that specific neighborhood and get you
Yeah, it's
those
best if it's
individuals
unlimited.
in that area. Yeah.
It's best if it's unlimited. So if you're running something to your farm, you might also run it to your sphere if you want to cheat the system a little bit. And
Gotcha.
bring up those numbers. Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Guys, we're out of time, and we are taking tomorrow off because iFinder certification is tomorrow. So check that out. It should be posted to most of your Market Center calendars. I will hopefully see you there, and I will see you back here, One Thing Tech, on Thursday, 3 o'clock. Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you, Seth.
Thank you, Seth.
You're welcome.